Welcome everybody to another episode of Talkin Grizz. This is our off-season series where we're going to talk to media around the league about the drafts and future prospects and the future of their markets teams. So joining me now from Cleveland is Chris Fedor, the NBA and Cavs reporter for Cleveland.com. How's it going today?
Great, Kelcey. How are you?
I am good. I'm excited to hear what you've got to say. So let's go. The past couple years, the Cavs have been very guard-oriented. They got Sexton and Garland. But positionally, if you look at the roster of this Cavs team, is there a hole that needs to be filled that possibly is not a guard?
Yeah, I think so, Kelcey. I think anytime you talk about the Cavs going into this offseason, the conversation starts at wing. They've got a lot of uncertainty there. Jetty Osman has been manning the small forward spot for the last couple of years since LeBron James left. I think they want to upgrade that spot. They used the 26th overall pick on Dylan Windler last year, didn't play at all in his rookie season, had season-ending leg surgery. So they're expecting him to be back, and they have big plans for him, obviously, but he's such an unknown that it's hard to bank on him filling big minutes, at least initially. So I think anytime you talk about them, it starts with the wing spot.
Are there any names that pop up when you're looking at draft boards that you're like, you know, if I was the GM of this team or whatever, if you're even a writer, like, is there one that you think is like, yeah, that would be the perfect fit?
I think Isaac Okoro from Auburn makes the most sense for the Cavs, Kelcey, because the thing that they need to focus on the most to kind of take the steps that they want to take in the Eastern Conference is defense. Everybody inside the organization has been talking about that this offseason. They understand that they've been dead last in defensive rating for the last 2 years. And I think if they're going to fix the defense, it's not going to be a schematic thing. It's not going to be JB Bickerstaff putting his imprint on with any kind of tricks. It has to be an upgrade in personnel. So Isaac Okoro is considered to be the best pure defender on the wing in this year's class. And if his offense comes around, I think that would be a big bonus for this group. But they don't need another offensive-minded player. They've got enough of those. They got to focus on defense.
Okay, so you mentioned it that the Cavs were last at the regular season in defensive ranking. It was like 114.8, almost 115. What do you like about Isaac that you've seen from him that you think, like, why would he make that perfect fit on the defensive end for the Cavs?
So I think defensive toughness, that starts there. He needs somebody who's willing to take that challenge, right? Like, he played in the SEC. He was willing to guard the best offensive player for the other team. And I think the other thing that he brings to the table, Kelcey, is defensive versatility. You know, he's 6'6", but he's also bigger and stronger, and he's got a 6'9" wingspan. So if he has to play some 4 in small ball lineups, I think he can do it. If he has to guard the 2, I think he can do it. When the Cavs have a small backcourt of Darius Garland and Colin Sexton, like, they're going to need somebody with bulk and size to shift over to those ball-dominant guards in certain situations. And for him to be able to guard, I would say 1 through 4 effectively, I think that makes a lot of sense for this group.
And now my very last question, I told you I only had 2, and now I'm going on to my 4th. Obviously, the draft board is not set in stone. You can wager that the 1 through 3 are what everyone thinks the 1 through 3 will be. Is this gentleman, Isaac, is he someone that could be a 5th pick? Like, is it realistic?
I think so, because I get the sense that the Cavs have it ranked like this. I don't know the order for the first 3 guys, but they have different tiers, right? So they have tier 1, which is Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman, LaMelo Ball. And then they've got tier 2, and from what I'm told, it's like 5 to 6 different guys that could fit that. And then they've got to try and separate all those guys, which I think is going to be really, really difficult, especially in this year's draft, because the pre-draft process is so different than it has been in years past. But if you look at the 5 to 6 in that second tier, I definitely think Isaac Okoro is in that mix. I think Denny Avdia is in that mix. I think Devin Vassell from Florida State's in there as well. Obi Toppin from Dayton. So to me, Isaac Okoro is definitely in the mix at number 5. He's the best combination of just overall talent and positional fit for the Cavs. And I think there's a strong argument if they don't go him, it's another one of the 2 wings that I mentioned.
Awesome. Hey, we're less than a month away now, so exciting things are on the horizon. We get to, have some content to talk about soon. So thank you so much, Chris, for your time today. Where can we find your work?
Cleveland.com/Cavs. It's all up there for everybody.
It does not get easier than that. Thank you so much. And guys, for your Memphis Grizzlies coverage, you can get more on grindcitymedia.com.